This is the Throttle Out Show, presented by Vixen Industries, the only show where monster truck drivers and mechanics come together to present what's happening in the monster truck community. It's the ultimate combination of torque, horsepower, and trash talk. And now for your hosts. First, straight out of the heart of Detroit Rock City, it's Kid Rock's neighbor and former driver of the BKT ride truck. It's Austin Spence. And the duo deep in the heart of Texas, it's the show owner and daughter of a man who conquered the industry for over 20 years. It's Harley Johnson, along with everyone's favorite Bryce Kenny lookalike, Austin Tweedy. So go ahead, fuel up, strap in, and remember, when in doubt, throttle out.
Hi guys, welcome back to another Monday here at the Throttle Out Show. Now I am joined by a special guest here in the studio tonight. You might know him. You might have watched his cartoons growing up, his movies recently. Please welcome my guest.
I'm vengeance.
Yeah, if you haven't caught on, my guest tonight is Batman. And he's going to reveal his identity, I guess.
Guys, it's me. It's just me. Guys. Man,
Oh my gosh.
let's get Cooper on the show, because Cooper was the Batman, not an amazing movie.
Yo, it was 10 out of 10. I've watched it twice already. And I'm not going to lie, if I had time after work, I was also going to Walmart and I was going to buy a Batman mask. Not going to lie. And I was also going to open like that as well, but you beat me.
Should have done it. Should have done it.
Yeah, I know. It was the best movie I've ever seen. The greatest performance ever. That is what cinema is. MCU is garbage now compared to what I witnessed
I don't know about that.
these past 2 weekends.
No.
Listen, if
MCU is
you
not
haven't-
garbage.
After what DC has done,
That's
and gave
one
us
movie. How can you
Peacemaker-
judge
no,
one
they
movie?
gave us Peacemaker.
Okay, a
They
show
gave
and
us
one movie.
The Batman, and they gave us more shows that are coming from the Batman.
And hey, hold on. Before we get too carried away, we're not giving any
No,
spoilers.
we're not saying anything about
Spence
the
is
movie.
in the comment section. He's not joining us tonight. He's watching. Spence, we're not giving away any spoilers. Just so y'all know, excellent movie. Like Coop said, 10 out of 10. It totally blew our expectations out of the water. I was not expecting everything to work and mesh together as well as it did. Great movie. Coop has seen it twice now. I want to go and see it again. Phenomenal movie. Now,
I don't know if I can stay up for another 3 hours.
this is a
Listen.
channel where we talk about monster trucks. We talk about Supercross. We talk about NHRA. Maybe not tonight. Maybe no drag race tonight because Spence isn't with us. But Spence had his hands busy this past weekend at the Gator Nationals. Or was it Gainesville, Florida?
I
Is
saw
that
it
where
rain
it's at?
pretty hard there. Like it was like almost flooding there.
He was down there in Florida having him a big old time. We saw a couple pictures of him that made either. I think it's either.
Yeah,
Team
I did.
Close
I saw it
Voice
on
or-
Team Kalitta's Instagram. I
Yeah,
was like, hey,
yeah.
there's Spence. We know that guy.
There's our boy. Yeah, that was awesome. Supercross was huge this past week. We'll talk about that. We may have a guest join us in a little bit as well. Got a lot of
Another
notes.
guest on top of our first guest.
Another guest. Yeah,
Another?
on top of what somebody said in the comments. Yes, Adam West is here hanging out with us tonight. I got a lot of notes to go over. Harley, she's got a notepad just chock full of stuff to talk about over there. And let's do this, Harley. Everybody's wondering, like, okay, we started off, we talked about monster trucks. We gave everybody the inside scoop with monster trucks, and Supercross really caught our attention. And it's like a new hobby for us both, and they kind of go together. I mean, it's an off-road sport. You know, that's where that's coming from, Coop. But I think we need to talk about what happened this past weekend at Supercross in Detroit, Rock City, Ford Field. Harley Joe, you can go ahead and start playing the footage that was sent in by our good friend, I believe, Cam Smith. Sent us this footage.
Yes.
The first couple of clips, I believe, are from qualifying, so there's not a lot of people in the crowds at that point. But at some point, them people up there at Ford Field fill in the stands, and it was a great show nonetheless. And Harley, you and I thought that the track setup, actually, at first glance, it's almost kind of plain. When you're watching the race, there's not a whole lot to it.
Right.
Somebody had said that as well. Who was that?
Jet Lawrence, I believe.
Jet Lawrence.
It was after Heat 1?
After Heat 1, he had made the comment
Yeah.
that the track was kind of boring. It was plain. And
He was like, it's kind of easy, no big deal, you
that
know.
it was easy, okay? But that was after his heat race. I guess qualifying win as well. But somewhere along the line, y'all, This track got out of hand. It got tore up. There were comments being made saying that the track was tacky in some spots, dry in others. The ruts were out of control. But Harley and I thought it was interesting that the young gun, Jet Lawrence, who's currently first in the 250 SX East division, made the comment that the track was easy. Then you get to the big guns. You get to the 450 SX class. Eli Tomac, the big dog, E3, the guy who's currently in first place, said basically the exact opposite. Said that the track was all over the place. It was unpredictable. And it took the lives of the competition, y'all. This was no joke.
Especially
Harley,
that last main event. It was getting like riders left and right were just going out.
So you can go ahead and play it now. This is a crash, Harley. You go ahead right here.
Oh, okay.
Between Chase Sexton and Cooper Webb. Go ahead and pause it right here. Go ahead and pause it right here.
Pause.
People kind of see our reactions as we're doing this.
Well, this is new.
This video is from FM on YouTube. Excellent channel. Yeah, from FM.
Okay.
From the radio?
We are going to watch. Yes, we're going to watch this crash between Chase Sexton and Cooper Webb. Just a few minutes left in the final race of the evening, in the main event, y'all. It got nasty. It got ugly. We're going to break this down. Harley Joe, go ahead.
Okay.
It's playing the damn thing.
Again also. Oh, yeah.
Now we're going to slow it down. We're going to look at it a little closely, and this thing's going to loop for us.
His jersey completely off.
Cooper Webb. This guy to the right of him hits a double. Cooper attempts a triple, comes up short. Chase Sexton lands on top of him. As Chase Sexton's crashing, the rear tire hits his back and rips his jersey open, y'all. Rips his jersey open, and his tire does a burnout on his back, Cooper.
Oh, my gosh.
Be crazy.
I think I have like a up-close picture of the war wound right there.
That is a burnout you're seeing on that man's back right there.
Now, he said he's okay. They both said they're okay. They made some errors, but they're okay. They're going to be in Indy this weekend. So
immediately following that crash, Chase Sexton exited the track. Cooper Webb, however, tried to keep going. He made, I think, maybe another lap or two.
I think he held his arm like as he was riding for the next 2 laps.
It looked like he hurt his hand.
Yeah.
Was the initial report. And then they actually made him get off the track. And not too much longer after that, Harley, Jason Anderson, the guy who I believe is number 2 in the 450 SX division on the Monster Energy bike. It's really weird. Cooper goes into a turn. He crosses the finish line, goes into a turn, and it's just like he lays the bike over gently. Well, I guess it wasn't as gentle as what it appeared. I guess he hit his head pretty bad. I think he got concussed because he tried to take off again and then fell off the bike going into the very next turn. And it looked like he didn't know where he was at. It looked like he was going to throw up. I guess he's fine. I mean,
well, like watching it live, they only showed, I think, the second time he went down, and then you just saw him like just sitting there, like he looked like he was about to throw up, and like we didn't know where it came from. Like, oh, he just fell over.
This is why this has really got our attention this year, y'all. This sport is brutal. We love the competition aspect that the Supercross brings, so we keep up with it. We're following it now. We're kind of hoping that Monster Jam kind of adapts some of their ways over here. We've noticed some things that Monster Jam tries to copy with Supercross, and maybe they'll figure out the racing thing. Maybe they'll get the sponsors figured out to bring actual racing competition back. Not a lot of us have high hopes for it, but I'm holding on over here. Cooper, have you been to Supercross in person?
No,
sorry. Girlfriend brought in the mixed drink.
Did she put in a golf ball in your drink?
No, it's an ice cube. Or it's an ice ball. Ha ha ha.
Ice ball.
They're
fancy. Amazing. Sorry, I have not made it to a live motocross event as much as I'd love to. One is coming up in Indy. I'm debating on going. Not gonna lie.
Supercross is in Indy this weekend.
Yeah.
No, well, there it is. I might be going, or I'm recording a podcast for my new podcast.
Well, you got it coming up in Indy this weekend, and then before too much longer, it'll be in St. Louis, and you can go check that out. And apparently, Cynthia Gauthier is doing a display in Indy at Napa.
At Napa?
That's as much
Napa.
Information as I know about.
Napa know-how.
Did you see that post that she made?
Yes, I see them all.
She just said, I'm doing a display at Napa. I was like,
I'm doing a display at Napa.
I mean, is
you
there
figure out which one.
Yeah.
Is there one Napa?
Maybe it's supposed to be like a treasure hunt type thing, you know?
Find Cynthia.
That's a waste of treasure.
Some other news happening.
You know what I mean.
Some other news happening. By the way, shout out to Jeremy Hossman for joining us the other night on the stream. We were drinking some Dos Equis, drinking some beers over here. Got out the lemon lime salt, and it's still all over our table over here. So shout out Jeremy Hossman, kicking back some brewskis. Shout out to Shane Plato, the world's youngest monster truck driver. Got out, did a collab with another YouTube channel. Coop, you ever heard of the YouTube channel? Was it Arac? Is that the name of it?
Yes.
Arac?
Arac.
Oh, I guess
They did one with Arac?
Yeah,
they
dude.
did.
Yeah.
Who is this again?
It
Sorry,
just
I
came
missed
out
the first
today.
part because I'm looking
They
at tickets.
just uploaded it like a few hours ago.
But
dude.
no, who?
With the, was he 14 now?
He's
14-year-old
14 years
monster
old,
truck driver out of
Drive-
California.
That guy did a video with Arac?
driving
Yeah.
the Skull Crusher monster
Yo.
truck.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He's
It's
out.
actually pretty entertaining.
He's out in
to
the middle of the
watch.
desert doing a donut. The video is pretty sweet. No,
Who did
it's
the
good.
video? Whose channel was it on?
Arac.
Yeah,
Bro, that guy, he is insane. Background, if anyone doesn't know who he was, he started out actually in 2019 or whenever COVID started. He made a channel and his goal was to get from 0 to 1 million subscribers in a year, and now he's up to 4 million.
4.54 million to be
Yeah.
exact.
It's great. He bought Logan Paul's couches, and he boxed Jake Paul for one of the couches. He skydived with the couches. He blew them up, and then he returned them back to Logan Paul. It was crazy. And then he sneaks into a lot of places. I don't know if you've seen most of his videos, but
No, that was like the first video we've seen.
So
of him.
Shane and Lee are basically introducing us to.
he's basically been blacklisted from every stadium because he's successfully made it into several events, like several pay-per-views. He tried to get into the Super Bowl. He was so close, but he didn't make it. It was crazy.
So shout out Shane Plato. Go check out the latest video from Arac. You'll see Shane Plato doing some wicked donuts out in the middle of the desert. Pretty sweet video, and hats off for them for getting in, collabing with somebody out there. That's what we got to do to build up our social media, build our channels up, bring back to the sport of monster truck, bring it back to the limelight that it so rightfully deserves. And they're going to do some special stuff out there on the West Coast, and we'll be staying in touch with them in too much longer. We've been talking to Lee about some things, and that's all I'm going to say.
Some things in the works.
That's all
a
we're going to
little
say
bit.
for now. Something else to talk about. I got to hang out with our buddy Mike Brister today, Cooper. You believe that? Got to hang out with Brister, baby.
He's not paying attention.
I guess he's not paying.
I'm sorry. The audio was cutting out.
Got to hang
the
out.
audio was cutting out.
Got to hang out with Mike Brister today. Mike Brister drove the rig from from wherever their last show was, and then drove it down here just below Dallas, Texas. And I need to take him back to the airport, so I got to hang out with the guy. Got to hang out with him. We got to grab us a sandwich from Buc-ee's, and we just shot the
you had
shit for a little bit.
Buc-ee's?
But what I really wanted to talk about Mike Brister and kind of give a tip of the cap to him, and for anybody listening tonight, I want to know about the wonderful world of monster trucks, what it's really like when you're an independent in the sport, and how glamorous it is. It's so glamorous as to you got to drive. You got to do what Mike Brister does sometimes. You got to drive the rig from your last show to your next one. And then if your team's short on rig drivers, like they currently are right now, he gets to fly back to where their other rigs are at, then drive it back to where he was just at in Ennis, Texas. And that's the name of the game. That's the sacrifice that we make to make
You
this.
gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what we gotta do.
Not gonna lie, it sounds pretty awful.
It's trying, man. I mean, you
I
gotta
understand.
You're busting your balls, but I mean,
They're just short on guys.
they're just short
like
on
if they had
guys,
more
yeah.
guys, Brister wouldn't be.
What team is
going
he
all
on?
over the
I'm
place.
sorry if you said
Team-
that. It was around when the audio was coming.
no. Team 2 Extreme up there with the
The
Cretans.
Cretans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's just say they're short on guys. I feel like everybody's short on guys, though. So many teams
is
out there
true.
looking for good guys and girls to come work for them, and it's hard to make it happen right now. You got
Hey, yo. Speaking short on guys, sorry to cut you off.
Nope.
Shout out to Brad Hilson over here. He was gonna be gone, but now he's back because he can never commit. So shout out Brad.
yeah. That's news to me. I didn't know that. How about that? Well,
It's
very
it's
well.
funny.
Shout out High Octane Coffee for giving us some drinks over here so we don't go thirsty, at least down here at the Rockwall, Texas branch. Cooper's drinking some whiskey up there.
No, sadly, it is. She mixed it with Mountain Dew and Tito's vodka because that is the only one she could reach on top of the fridge.
Nice.
But yo,
Yeah.
tickets be $100, $200. What?
For what?
For what?
Motocross.
No.
No, we did
It's
not
got to
even
be
pay
for like
nearly that
really
much.
good seats.
Well, obviously that's the ones I'm going to look at.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, we
But
paid,
even the seats we
Well,
got,
I mean,
they weren't
actually-
terrible.
our seats were awesome, and we paid 45
Why
bucks
are
for it.
okay? So
you
the
looking
ones
at?
okay, I'm looking at the tickets. There's like the very front and then the next section back. That level is 200 and they're 115 each. But if you go on the other side, I'm looking at $400.
What? Is this
Yeah.
like a special race?
It must be
Oh,
special.
it's like row 4.
Oh, I mean, that might be why then.
Yeah.
Yo, I
could-
want up in close action, dirt in my face while slamming 2 beers down my throat.
dude, whatever seats you get, you're going to flip and love it. It's good.
Probably.
And we want to talk about some expensive seats. You kind of transition into one of my notes I got in here. I think we should just go ahead and talk
got
about it
you.
right now. I think we should talk
Okay.
about it right now.
Talk about it.
Monster Jam World Finals.
Whoa! I
Harley.
forgot about that.
Same.
Harley Joe,
Yes.
why is Monster Jam not advertising, not getting the word out there for Monster Jam World Finals like they have in years past? You kind of caught on to that.
This is from my personal experience. I feel like Monster Jam is not really blowing up World Finals like how they usually do, like past first quarters, where it's like, come to World Finals, come to World Finals, come to World Finals. And it's like, they're not really making a big deal about it this year.
Let's see these combo tickets.
You know, tickets aren't really selling. There's a lot left, and we're only less than 2 months away.
We've been
From
keeping
World
up,
Finals?
Yeah, we've been keeping up with tickets. We've thought about going.
Sheesh.
We thought about doing something really cool and going and hanging out with everybody. And
Yo, imagine.
I guess there's going to be no shortage of available tickets. What were you going to say, Coop?
Imagine we bring our own table. I've seen this done before. If you just walk in with a ladder, you're good to go. But we bring in a table, we set up in the middle of pit party, and we do a live show. Imagine that.
We'll bring
Yeah.
we'll bring a hot spot and we'll just rock it.
Yeah.
We're gonna continue going until we get kicked out by security.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be nuts?
we'll
I
have
feel like it wouldn't take long at all for someone to walk up from a higher up and be like, you guys gotta leave.
we'll have one of the crew guys bring us one of their little
gotta
generators, so we got our own power source.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should totally do that. That'd be sweet. But Harley, I mean, you'd caught on. They're not doing much advertisement for a
if
finals.
they
It's
are
like-
at shows, that's great. But I feel like over social media, which is where they need to be advertising it, it's not
Yes.
making a big impact.
We've not heard
on
anything
anybody.
Yo.
in reference to their giveaway that they were doing for their tickets. Nothing.
I think
doing
that
a
giveaway's still
giveaway?
going on. I think people forgot about it at this point. Because I think it goes on until like April something, like a month before World Finals.
Front row. We're looking at. Have you looked? Are you about to get into prices? My bad.
No. I mean, if you know the prices, go for it.
I'm looking right at them. Row 108. Front row. It's probably because where the tarps are at. Maybe. I don't know. $350.
so. They still haven't
For
gone.
one person?
It says 2
Or is that a
seats.
combo?
That's 2 seats.
Okay.
$350 for 2 seats? That's for
2,
one day.
And then you go up what? You literally go back 1 row. It's $256.
Okay.
Okay.
Very well.
Then you go back 10 rows. And let me click it. You're $185. Wow.
Wow.
Is that just for one day? That's not like both Saturday and Sunday.
This was just for freestyle because I looked at the combos. We're looking at combos now. Combos for both days. We're gonna go very middle, front row. One seat is $275.
For both days.
Yes, and then so you add 275 plus 275 is a high number, and that's a lot of money.
That's not even on top of like, is pit party included? Or, and parking? And
2-day
hotel?
combo ticket.
And everything else that you're going to pay for when you're in Orlando?
No, it is strictly, I think, just freestyle. It's skills and racing and high jump and freestyle, which it's a sleep fest, then racing, and then another sleep fest and go get your popcorn and drinks. You have time, then freestyle.
Isn't it weird that freestyle's on like a Sunday afternoon? Is it an afternoon
Yeah.
show for Sunday?
4 p.m. is when
Yeah.
it starts. So freestyle starts at 6 o'clock because high jump takes 2 hours.
Yeah.
Which, that's I'm not gonna lie. waste of time, aka waste of parts, because 4 people are gonna, every truck's gonna break,
Yeah.
and then guess what? You're thrashing the rest of the show to get it back out there.
I think the World Finals is going to be very interesting.
I
this
don't
year.
think it's going to be as great as past World
the pit
Finals.
party's probably going to suck,
Yeah.
especially if they're still doing weird COVID rules that they do not need to be doing.
Now,
It-
Florida may have their own COVID rules, like maybe there's no rules at all, but
Mhm.
Monster Jam itself has its own rules.
Yeah.
If that makes
Is
sense.
there still doing the them type of rules?
To my knowledge, yeah.
It's still
Bro.
like distance and still talking through the mics, right?
Bro,
And-
Chicago
Yeah.
got rid of their stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I went and saw a concert. Didn't need nothing, even though I had nothing. It was just one of
Nice.
those like, hey, I'm walking in here because I bought these tickets. And yeah, so I don't know why. I don't know if we're allowed to say it on YouTube, but like, I don't know why they're still doing the guidelines on that stuff.
So
Get outta here.
you bring up an interesting point there, because that was one of the things you wanted to talk about, was just the way
What?
that the world's changing and how that's going to affect our monster truck lives, our live entertainment industry. Our ticket prices, the cost of fuel obviously is skyrocketing right now. Y'all.
Well, not just like regular gas, but I mean diesel. That's going to take a huge toll on
I mean,
all
I
of these independents
feel
having to
so
pay their
bad
way,
for these,
you know,
especially
getting
these
to each
independents
show.
who sit in, who are quoted, hey, we'll pay you this much come around first quarter for us. The
Yeah.
fuel has more than doubled. I mean, it's hard right now, and it's been hard to get a hold of parts, y'all. We've been in the know of that. There's been trucks out there who the teams even they don't have a spare engine. The teams that are obviously well-known teams, and having to run their bodies on other trucks just to make a couple shows in a month's time. I mean, it's a hard knock life out there for a lot of industries, but especially motorsports, especially in monster trucks, it's tough. Yeah, I know you want to talk about that a little bit, and if we're kind of done with that, I'm ready to move on.
We'll go for
Sorry
it.
that I get on these random rants.
Well,
or
you
just
brought
random
it up.
topics right now.
You brought it up.
No,
Way to
that's
go.
good.
Now let's transition to something else.
glad I did.
We'll come back to some Monster Jam in a little bit, but for right now, let's get an update on the toughest monster truck tour, y'all. These shows never disappoint. Never. Okay, doesn't matter if one of the best trucks goes out and they pop an engine. The rest of the set, y'all, they got it going on. These shows are by far, they got the best recipe. I think they got the top quality tier of shows for arenas anyways. I'll give you an update on the points list on the toughest monster truck tour. Brandon Budd is still in, Bigfoot is still in first place. However, not by much, because right behind him is Team Throttle Monster's own Dalton Wider in the Jurassic Attack. Then you got Kamikaze, driven by Team Throttle Monsters Paul Jensen, followed by the combination of Tim Jones and the Tailgater, Corey Snyder and the Toxic. They're kind of a duo this first quarter. And then you got Jerry Beck and Bailey Shea. And all the points, y'all, it's still kind of really anybody's ball game for the amount of shows that are left in the season. Toughest Monster Truck Tour never disappoints. So I'm glad to see that the points battle is actually close this year. A lot of years you see Bigfoot running away with it. That wasn't so much the case for the toughest monster truck tour, with, I guess, the year before last. But this year, the competition's neck and neck. It's awesome. We're going to talk about, where do we want to go? What direction do we want to go in right now?
Wherever you want to go.
Wherever I want to go? Okay. Let's do this. Why don't you play your Monster Jam arena footage?
Okay. I only have footage from one of the arena tours, and this was sent in from Caden Kessler. I think I'm pronouncing his name right.
David?
This is
Caden.
the Arena West tour in Nampa, Idaho.
Nampa.
This is from show 2, I believe, that he
Hey,
went to.
yo. It's the greatest two-wheel skills driver ever.
The GOAT of two-wheel.
Yep.
He is literally a goat. Have you seen his face? For his beard.
Yeah.
Now, fun fact,
Fun
Too Tall won the first overall
Wow.
in Idaho here, and then Brandon Vincent took home, the second overall and the third overall.
Let's go. Yo, do I get bonus points for like all my picks being champions?
Actually,
No.
no, you don't, and you are still not doing very good.
Listen, whole thing has been rigged against me, As you see, there's plenty of evidence on the field, but we'll get into that later. Continue.
I think we're learning, how we're gonna do our fantasy thing next season.
Yeah,
Because there are some bugs in this whole thing.
We had to have
There's
a
a
test
whole
season.
stadium tour not running this month, so that's affecting everybody, especially Coop, because all three of his stadium guys are on one tour. So,
Yo, imagine I make a comeback.
Call it a
What-
comeback.
What would you do?
Is that a prediction? Are you predicting that you're coming back?
I mean, at this point, call it a comeback.
Well, Harley, read the points.
okay, in last place is no surprise. Sorry, Spence. Spence is in last place. He's so far behind. I don't think he can possibly catch up at this point. And then in third we have Coop.
What's up? Yo, I bounced
Yep.
all over this place.
Coop, you and me are, I think, are 100 points difference from each
Away?
other.
Yeah, you're almost 100 points away.
You're almost
Like
100
the
points
opposite?
behind me, so I'm second. And then this guy is still in first. Hasn't gotten away from first this whole time.
Cheating.
I'm really not cheating.
I don't know how you're winning. How do you have so many
You know
points?
why?
go to-
Because
you're
my
the
guys
one.
balled out this past
Because
weekend.
all your guys are like
Hey.
consistent. That's
They're
why.
consistent.
They're
That's
all
you.
consistent. All their numbers
and
are almost
first of
the
all,
same.
one of my guys, John Zimmer Jr., shout out to him. Happy birthday,
Happy
man.
birthday.
Hope you had a wonderful freaking day. Thank you for gaining me some points. I hope you have a delicious Dr. Pepper and enjoy the rest of your evening, my man. But,
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
won both the overalls at the show this weekend.
He did.
There's only 2 shows and he both won them.
Too Tall had a big weekend this past weekend. Somebody else on my list had a great weekend as well. I mean, it's just the Leduc Leapers. Thank you. And speaking of Leduc, he had him a rough weekend out there
Oh,
in the
that's right.
desert.
In
Coop, did you
Vegas.
keep up with the Mint 400 results?
I saw Instagram videos for sure, but I was really busy this weekend.
So
with
this
work
is
and
yeah,
watching
this is
Batman.
something that I don't know anything about. I know it's a big race out in the desert. I would like to know. We just
bye.
screwed up.
So
Okay,
sorry.
see you later, Cooper.
Oh, I hate when it
Bye.
happens.
We would like to know more about the Mint 400 and how the desert racing world goes. I know. I mean, we've watched a little bit of clips of short course on MAV TV, but this is a big race. This is like the biggest race of the year, I think, essentially in the Mint 400.
Well, call your boy, isn't Todd?
He had a ride out there. He was driving for, I think it's Kerry Chrisman, I think is the name of the team. Like I said, I'm unfamiliar with all this, but they were number 1 in qualifying. They had a great spot going into the race, and then I think going into the race, actually, they were doing great. I think at one point Todd was driving and was actually in the lead. They switch drivers. They go to the next driver because you have multiple drivers in this thing. They switch drivers, and the next driver goes out. I don't know if he lands in the throttle or what happens, but completely blows up the freaking rear end,
Yo,
and they were done. So
this is 100% the reason we need to get Todd on here to talk about that, because I remember him telling all these amazing stories about like certain situations about switching drivers and all that. Like one person throwing up while you're driving, you can't stop. There you go.
man, that would be crazy. But we need to get him on here sometime. I don't know. We need everybody in the comment section. If you want to see Leduc join our stream sometime, you need to take a petition. Get the petition going. Get Todd Leduc on here. He can talk to us about some desert racing. And we'll, yeah, y'all got to do that. What were you gonna say, Coop?
I was gonna say all 57 people in here go to Todd's Instagram. Just take a screenshot of the throttle out and then tag him and say, "Join the show," or not.
Do it.
Come on the
Do
show.
it.
Do it.
So 56 now.
Oh, we lost a person because we're talking about Todd.
I don't really care, y'all. We need to get him on the show. We need to talk about some desert racing. Coop, people while they're watching right now, they need to like the video as well.
Like the video. What are you doing? Crazy.
Now, we do have a special treat for y'all. We have a special guest. He is in the background right now. Get ready to bring him on, assuming that he can hear me. Can you hear me, guest, in the background? Like, give me a wave or something like that, because I got you muted right now.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
He can hear us. All right. Well, I got him muted right now. This guy, this gentleman right here, has been breaking the monster truck internet. There is such a thing as monster truck internet out there. It is good stuff, and he has been breaking it almost every week this year. He's going out, putting the news out there. People are loving this up. So welcome back to help me welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. The owner. What?
I need to make a scene for him.
Okay, so hold on, we gotta make a scene for him, and then we can bring him on there. Hey, what's
Hey.
up?
Yo, are y'all
What's up,
matching?
everybody?
No, we're not mentioning.
There he is, Triple B Motorsports' own James Trentino. What's going on? We got the baby hanging out with us tonight.
He's hanging out tonight. Yep. We brought my daughter to dance, and we came home. Our 3-year-old is sick, so helping out while I can, and the kids are going to bed here shortly. So little Briggsy wanted to hang out with Dad, and here we are.
James, when I was up there hanging out with y'all a couple weeks ago, I mean, I get it. I get it being an independent team owner. You know, you got your day job, but you have multiple jobs, man. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you manage to find time to even tinker with monster trucks, be a dad, be a husband, and manage all your businesses. You were working Saturday. I mean, you got a lot going on, man.
I do. It's part of the gig, I guess. If we run a pretty large company, and that's just the towing company, and then obviously the monster trucks and some properties and just different things. And like this Saturday I had to work. There's some miscommunication, and ended up working 10, 11-hour shift, and everything's good. It's part of the deal.
So James, you made another wave again in the monster truck community last week when you announced the purchase of some of J.R. McNeil's trucks. Why don't you kind of talk about that a little bit? I mean, where did that come from, and what's your goal with these trucks?
JR and I have been talking for some time, and last year we both had COVID at the same time, actually, and laying in the hospital, and he was laying in his hospital in Florida, and we just kind of talking about things, and I was going to buy a truck from him last year, and it didn't happen, didn't pan out, and the COVID put me behind, and so I kind of missed my opportunity at him, and I was a little bumming, but things happen for a reason. Well, some things fell apart. He had them sold, and some things happened, and him and I stayed in touch, and I talked to him about them, and I jumped on him as soon as I found out that the other deal fell apart.
So you got some more trucks now. You got trucks that are out on tour right now. You got where the Mingus trucks are still running out there. Mm-hmm. Old Hot Rod and Logan were out at a show this past weekend. James, let's talk about this. I was reading some comments on Facebook today, kind of interesting, and because we were kind of relating this with Monster Jam with the show they had in Miami this past weekend. James, this whenever they do the show down in Miami, they do not sell tickets. It's a 2-night stadium show. If they're lucky, they may sell enough tickets that would make it appear as if the crowd is full. But that's if they combine both nights. Harley, you and I are watching. Not a lot of people there. There never is. Okay.
Well, even when we were there with the PAGs,
2020,
they didn't sell out
2019,
any.
not a lot of people. Mm-hmm. This is the first show back since 2020, and nothing. I mean, it was sad. Now, we're going back to this other show that Dad and Logan were at this past weekend, James, and the comments that we were catching up with on Facebook. Just because there's not a lot of people at a show, though, James, does not mean that the people that are there don't deserve a good show.
100%. I mean, it doesn't matter if there's 10 people or 10,000 people or 100,000 people. They all paid the ticket price. They all wanted to come to the show. They all want to see monster trucks, and no matter what it is, you still got to put on a show. We got paid the same amount if there was 100,000 people or 10 people. So we did our job, and that's what we're there to do. I know there's some issues. It's a newer venue. I think they had it last year and this year, and there's another promoter. I think that's going to be 10 miles away in a month from now, and I think that might have hurt it a little bit. But you'll have that. I mean, I see it right now in the industry that there's so many promoters out there, and I'm waiting for it. Minnesota used to be saturated every weekend with a monster truck show, and right now there's not. Actually, when I sold my truck, they were down to like 3 shows in the entire state.
Yeah.
Where now, I think this year there's going to be probably 30 to 40 shows in the state of Minnesota. I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the year between all the fair shows and racetracks and the stadium and whatever. And there's just so many promoters and pop-up promoters, and I call them wannabes, that I think it's going to hurt our industry a little bit, and it's going to weed out a few people, and then it'll be strong again.
So we got some people watching tonight, James, kind of transitioning into another topic of discussion. Can you do this? Can you give us an update on the new USA One truck? Maybe if and when that truck will be making its appearance for the first time.
I was actually at the shop all day today, thrashing with Josh and my cousin Derek, and obviously your brothers and your dad, and Barefoot and Barely Tame are ready to be back on the road and ready to go again. And USA One, we're hoping by Wednesday morning that'll be fired up and everything under its own power, and hoping to have the body on it by Wednesday afternoon. And if all goes well, we'll try and debut it this weekend down in Louisiana.
That would be exciting. That would be awesome. I know that'd be huge for y'all. Have a brand new piece rolling out of the shop. Be a fun time down there in Louisiana. I know y'all been putting in a lot of hours, a lot of late nights, a lot of early mornings trying to get a truck together. And I mean, that's the life of monster trucks, though, James. I mean, you guys are coming back from shows. You're trying to regroup, put your trucks back together while building a new piece, and you still got positions open. You still need good guys and girls to come work for you.
We do. I mean, your brothers and your dad have been phenomenal, and they they came home and got home late last night, and Josh was still there. Josh has been working 20-hour days, and I'm helping when I can. Today was the first full day I've been able to be there with just how busy the towing's been, and we've had some family stuff and kids sick and whatever. So we're hoping that once this truck is done, we'll be able to catch a breath a little bit and keep rolling on some other stuff, but at least that these guys have a day or two off during the week like we planned and what we agreed to. But right now we're all hands on deck. They run to the show, they do their thing, and they got home late last night, unloaded the things before the snow came today, and that way they were warm to work on this morning, and they're back in by 9 o'clock this morning, and we're all thrashing again. So
now we got a comment down here from Levi Jones. He's saying, James, we need an update on Mike Rowley. How's Mike Rowley doing?
Mike's off this week. He took a week off, and Mike's been amazing. He does a lot for us. He's our go-to guy. If whatever we need done, we can put him on a project and it gets done. And he's got some knowledge behind him, and he's definitely an asset. Hoping to see him in a truck sooner than later. An opportunity to drive.
That's funny. I was talking to one of his former teammates today, Mike Brister, about Rowley getting in the seat. He definitely deserves it. He's put in his time. I know he's got he's got passion for the industry. And then on another topic, you got somebody down in the comments saying they're ready for some USA One merch, James. They're ready for it, and I know that's something you've been working on. You want to get together. You got to get some other pieces of the puzzle together before you can make it happen. But I know it's on your list of things to get done.
We are. We have it designed. We showed you one T-shirt design on Facebook, and that's one design. We have a bunch in progress right now. One of the guys was in our shop today too, and he's going to do some merch for us as well. But we have Barefoot shirts being designed and merch. We have flags being designed. We have some kids shirts being designed. So kids shirts, they will be, we'll have kids shirts up to 5XL in all trucks. And then one shirt we're going to do, we'll have our Triple B Motorsports logo on it. And then I'll have a picture of every truck that we own on it. That's a part of the team. So I'm pretty excited for that. It'll be a fun little shirt. We're working on it. It's every day it's progress. It's just like the crocodile and the wolf. They're sitting down in Florida yet, and we're just so swamped right now. We're short a couple trailers, and we got to go get them things. We're hoping to have home here within the next couple weeks or a month, and we just got show after show, and to run down there and back and to get these trucks running. And JR is pretty understanding. He's like, hey, they're here. They'll be here when you come get them or when you have time. So we got to get them home. And like you said, we're looking for some good help. We're still looking for a couple experienced drivers. We have some awesome guys and rookies that are on our team or joining our team in the next couple weeks or a month. But I am looking for at least one or two guys that have some experience, at least 2 years experience, and then also some crew guys that know what they're doing and are ready to have some fun and jump at it with us.
Now, Cooper, down in the comments section, we got a question from a Mr. Tim Dudley. Can you read that question out to us?
Tim Dudley. I got a dumb question. When you bought USA One, do you own all the home videos and any footage taken by
Everett.
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 When he owned it, whoever Everett was, R.I.P.
No, I don't think we have any of that kind of stuff. Everett kept a lot of that personal stuff. He kept a lot of the older. I mean, it's his life, man. It's his history. That's his pride and joy. I mean, it's been so hard for him to let it go, and he comes up and he's just beyond thankful, and he's, it took some talking and some time to get it from him, but no, we didn't get that kind of stuff with it.
Now I see Anthony Maynard is joining us. What's up, Anthony? If you can see my phone right now, I'm getting ready to talk about you here in just a minute. So just keep hanging in there, Anthony. I'm going to get to you. You made my list of things to talk about. But James, you kind of hinted at. You talked about the crocodile and the wolf, or maybe the coyote,
And they're swamped.
I guess, yeah. What are we going to do with these trucks? Because we're under the impression that you're not running the names that those trucks are actually designed for. Can you kind of let us in maybe on the reasoning for that? And do you have any other ideas for names for those trucks?
We are not running the names. That was part of the deal. We got the trucks turnkey. We got the molds for the 3D bodies, and we got a couple bodies for each truck from him. We don't know the names yet. We're actually trying to come up with a name. We've been in contact with some big sponsors, and just waiting to see if they'll come on board before we actually pick a name or stick with a name or whatever. So we'll get them home, and once we get drivers for them or figure out who's going to drive them, then we better get our butts in gear and come up with a name.
Now, last question for you. We had a comment just a little while back. People wanting to know when you're going to buy a Throttle Out show. I mean, I
or
guess
people just said we should just call this the Trentina show at this point.
At this point, yeah. You keep popping in here all the time.
I told you I'm on here way too much, but it's going to slow down. I mean, these opportunities, you think about it. I mean, you can't tell me that wolf head and that the Crockett Exterminator bodies, them 3D bodies, are sick. I mean, they're awesome. They nailed it. And when them opportunities come up, I don't want to go and duplicate somebody. I don't want to go and down the road we come up with a name, or we got to go buy a mold and then we have two crocodiles in the industry. And I don't want to be known for that. I don't want to be known as a copycat. The opportunity came up, and you know what? We might not run them trucks for a couple months. We might not use them right away until we have the right people in place. But I have them. And when we do have the right people, or we do have a sponsor, or we do have the things that we want to put them out on the road, we have them. And that's kind of what we've done with all this stuff. It's not like I'm not out seeking every single day. I mean, yes, there is a team that if it came up for sale today, there's two teams in the United States that with their names and bodies or whatever it may be, their operation, if they came up for sale tomorrow, I would probably try and own them by the end of the week. Is it ideal? No. But is it once in a lifetime opportunity or something that I've liked them since day one? Yes. Other than that, we have enough trucks right now. We just need the help. We'll put them on the road. We'll get them working. And, just like everything we've bought so far, we didn't plan on buying Paul Schaefer's operation this year. We planned on having the trucks that we bought from Zane and USA One, and then it went to Paul's deal wall. And it's Darren Miguse and that whole operation, and then it's JR's, and who knows? We might not buy another truck for a year. We might buy more tomorrow. I don't know yet.
And then we got people down here in the comment section. People are going crazy right now. This is awesome. But James, I know you're a busy guy. I just wanted you to pop in and talk about some of the new trucks that you bought, and thank you so much for joining us, man. And I'll be talking to you soon.
Sounds good, and thank you guys. I appreciate it. And I'm here, and I hope these guys will enjoy it. USA One, it's pretty awesome, and I'm crossing my fingers that we can debut it this weekend. And just so you guys all know, we are working on a schedule. Once we get it done, we get it set in stone, we will be releasing the dates where it's going to be. It will be out on the East Coast, I think, for 3 or 4 or 5 weeks in a row in May and June. We'll be in the Midwest quite a bit. We're going to be all over. We're Ohio, Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana as well. So Georgia, I know we're down in Georgia one weekend. So we are definitely here for the fans as well, and we're here to have fun, like I've always stated. And we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. So if you're looking for a job, you want to have fun, you want good benefits, you want to make good money, you want good equipment, get a hold of me.
There we go. And to answer that last question, no, the Throttle Out Show is not actually up for sale. You
No,
can
it's
sponsor the
not.
Throttle Out Show if you want to. Anybody's more than
We'll
welcome.
figure that out. We'll work something out.
James, thank you so much for joining us, man. You have a good night. We'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right. You too, guys. Thank you.
Good night, buddy.
Good night.
Now,
We're
is there
for sale.
something that we need to clear up with Coop? You know.
Dude,
Did you
were
sell me?
Oh, I'm so sorry,
annihilated in the
Coop.
comment section right now. I don't know if you've been watching this or not. People are so upset that first of all, you don't know who Everett Jasper is, and then you said,
Where is he at? I was paying attention. I was like, I wonder if anyone's gonna be mad about that.
Yeah,
Where-
people are mad about that in the comments.
Did you hear what I said at the end of it? I was like, oh, whoever you are, R.A.P.
You said R.A.P. Everyone
People are
heard
lighting
it.
you up for that comment too.
I figured he wasn't not alive. So
No, he's
He's alive.
yeah, no, I figured he was alive. That's what I meant to say.
So
Oh,
are you
geez,
saying
that's
you
funny.
don't know who he is? To
No.
everyone. Okay.
No, like if I was in a building and it was just me and him and 4 other people, I'd probably know the 4 other people.
Should you let him in on who this person is
Everett Jasper.
before everyone just lights up the comments again?
He's the original owner creator of the USA 1 monster truck.
Was he the guy with the cowboy hat?
Yes.
That's him.
Yes.
Oh, I've had a conversation with him.
It just gets better with you, man. It just gets better. Who's that?
He was
Yeah,
in,
I don't know who he is. Oh, that guy? Yeah, I know that guy.
Oh yeah, we've chatted. I've chatted with him a little bit. I didn't know who he was either at that point. I was like, oh, you got a nice truck, I guess. You've seen mine? Look at mine. Mine's got spikes. Wow.
All right.
Okay, now that we've cleared that up.
Now that we've cleared that up, we're moving on. We're moving on, okay? I hope Anthony Maynard is still watching. I hope he's in the comments right now. I hope he's about to listen to what I'm about to say about the guy, all right? Guy is, first of all, a great crew chief. I first met the guy when I was crewing for Dave Radziras, and then he was on the same tour as myself. And Dave, he was crewing for your Pops in the Gas Monkey Garage. Guy knows a thing or two about wrenching.
Yeah.
And he's a good crew chief. Now he's crew for Tyler Meninga this year. So my comment about Anthony for the show was I had saw just right before we were going to go on air. And this may have been earlier in the day. It may not have been 30 minutes ago, but I saw it for the first time right before we were going on. Monster Jam on their Instagram page posted a clip, and they're talking about Tyler Meninga's really cool jump over the backflip ramp. This was how the post read. No, this isn't word for word, but you get the picture. It was like, it's a conversation between crew chief and driver.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking
Crew
about.
chief, you're going to really need to send it to make it over this one. Tyler Meninga, 10-4. They made sure they tagged Tyler Meninga in the video. He's all about it. Anthony Maynard is not tagged in this video. It's like, wow. Not
Did I
showing
not
any
remember
love.
who the crew chief
Not
is?
showing
Or
any
him?
love to the crew guys whatsoever. It's like, hey, Monster Jam, you can talk about your crew chiefs, okay? You can talk about your crew guys. That's okay. They deserve some love every now and again.
Listen.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
This is why any chance I had, I put myself on the big screen, and I did something stupid behind it. Because at this point, my goal was to just steal the show from any interview that was happening, and I've done it a couple times. There's been TikToks. Somebody made a TikTok with me. I hit the whoa. It
Oh,
was
I
crazy.
remember seeing that.
Oh,
that was
that's
good.
a great
That was
video.
good.
But it's like, I
That-
mean, come on, MJ. Y'all can talk about
Honestly-
your crew guys. You can name them. You can put clips of them on TV even. It's okay. It'll be all right.
The only time they talk about him is when it becomes the crew chief of the year stuff.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
rest of the time, you're never on there. Honestly, if you are, it's just because the media guy was new. If it was the actual guy that I talked to before, who ran their not Snapchat or something, he had his phone with him. No, his Twitter and Instagram. He probably would have done it, but it has to be somebody new because everyone's replaceable. But yeah, it's nothing new with Monster Jam on not shouting out the crew guys,
I mean, I think
It
a lot of
sucks.
it, Coop, is they know that they're drivers. They're actual fly-in contractor drivers. They know these guys are media trained, and a lot of the crew guys aren't. Okay, but
Well, they media train you. Were you ever media trained?
yes, and I'm pretty sure that Anthony is media trained.
See, I was media trained, and I still got yelled at because I wore a straw cowboy hat, and I had to talk about the diesel truck, and I was like, I don't know anything about the diesel truck. Like, let's talk about the housing. So I started out going, man, I'll tell you what, this housing right here is it's the second strongest one compared to a ZF, and then I just went down the whole housing, and the guy who did it was Ryan Lacrosse. He looked at me like, what are you doing? Like, I'm having fun with it. What do you mean? It was crazy.
Anthony, the video is on Monster Jam's Instagram. Okay, it's the video. You'll know what it is when you're looking at it because it's Tyler Meninga jumping over the backflip ramp, and it's like what your conversation would be if they were listening on y'all's headsets. But it's like they labeled you just as crew chief, but they made sure to get Tyler Meninga in the video. They made sure to tag him, but no love to the crew
Well,
guy.
speaking of Tyler in Miami. Oh, wait, go ahead, Coop.
Controversial question.
Ask him.
So if you look at it, do you think if it wasn't Tyler who did that and it was a different branded truck, or I guess an
Like an
independent,
independent.
whoever did something like that, do you think Monster Jam would go to them and be like, you can never do that again? And then
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
next little pre-practice meeting, they would say, no jumping over the backflip. If you are, you will be shut off immediately.
Yeah, yes, I do. I do think that. And the
Yeah.
other reason I say that is they're really weird about that backflip ramp being absolutely perfect. And I'm not saying that they don't have a reason to. Their theory in it is, just don't mess with it unless you're going for a backflip because there's such a dangerous stunt. Coop, you may remember a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago now, that Jimmy Cretin and Bounty Hunter went for a backflip off
Yes,
of the
that's exactly what I was gonna
non-backflip
say.
side, and he got bitched at about that. I mean, it was perfect for his truck. I mean, he freaking landed. It was
Yeah.
awesome. And then
They
I
mentioned
think-
that in our drivers' meeting. That was across the country.
Yeah, you can't hit the backflip ramp like that. And then I think it's funny they did that, and then 2 years later, wasn't it just last year? I think that Todd did the same thing, and then
I think.
we've not seen him do that since then. So I imagine he got a
Oh,
stern
and they
talking
also
to about
didn't
that.
tag the person who actually took the video. So it wasn't even Monster Jam's video. It was probably a fan's video.
Hats off, MJ. Way to go! Y'all are killing it out there.
Well, speaking of Miami, should we show some footage from Miami?
We can right as I give a shout out to Jason. I think it's Jason and Jeanette Bryant. You sent in some footage from my dad and my brother racing this past weekend. I didn't get it on here in time, but I just want to say thank you. We appreciate you sending in your footage. Now we get down to Miami. We're going to Miami. Here's the man Tyler Meninga, and he had a great weekend.
He did. He walked away with a freestyle win, a skills win, another freestyle win, but did not take any overalls home.
Well, Dolphin ate the dirt.
This guy took home both overalls for both shows
This
in
guy's
Miami.
insane.
He makes it look so easy.
What do you think? I mean, Coop, what do you think his rookie crew chief is like this year? I mean, you just walk in, you immediately get thrown Ryan Anderson, some punk kid from UNOH most likely, and you get thrown Ryan Anderson. I mean, come on. That's just not even fair.
Don't get used to it, is what I tell the kid. I'm not going to lie. Because after first quarter, he may never see that truck again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And he'll get somebody like Elvis or maybe even Cynthia. It's that random to where it's like you could literally jump from that truck all the way to maybe Kayla, only because I saw Kayla there. It's just good for him. He's doing decent, keeping it together. So shout out there. It's great. Probably the most successful kid I've seen come from UNOH.
I guess he's doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Do we want to talk about a moment that we saw while watching the playback of Miami where they shut a truck off so they could grab something?
Absolutely. Off of
Unimportant.
this truck right here. This truck you see. Doink. Oh, that didn't look nice.
Is it a headlight?
No.
No.
It was just a small, very small piece of the roof.
Are they
And
that
they-
hurting on money?
They
I guess.
shut the truck down. They sent the track official to go out, pick it up with one hand, and get back in the golf cart and keep moving.
Yo, did y'all shout out to whoever made that TikTok? Did you see that tech officials nowadays compared to back
Yes.
then?
Dude, that's exactly
Yes,
what
it's
happened
so
in that
true.
situation,
I
too.
wish you could have played that on here. The best part is it's a Max D. Oh my God. What are you doing? They're so
R.I.P. to the
notorious for
dumpster.
shutting you off really early. You're surprised they didn't do it there.
R.I.P.
Right?
to the dumpster. Bari Musawar, or as my father so famously calls him, Bari Musari.
I'm sorry.
Yo, is Miami's track bigger this year, or is it still the narrow?
No, I actually wanted to talk about that. It's the same track, but obviously they got a different setup, different style setup. The racing for this show just looked a little more complicated. It didn't look like maybe they had enough room to drift like they normally do. So a lot of guys and gals, Kayla was doing this as well, was hitting the corner, the little dirt corner going into the final turn of racing. So they definitely had the work cut out for them, learning to drive this track differently. But man, Ryan just does so good.
Because if you remember the first time we did Miami, how it literally went from home field straight down center field.
Yeah.
And it cut off before you even touched third or first base. So it was like straight line racing.
Yeah.
And I loved it how we had 4 shows and they said if anyone touches the grass, we're canceled. So we all went up to Bryce and said, listen, you got to take one for the team. Just during practice, just run right through third base. Just hit the turf and we're out of here. It's easy weekend. I'll buy you your first shot.
Now, we were kind of talking about this a little bit when James was on the show with us a few moments ago, but you obviously saw in the video there that there was not a lot of people at that Miami show. You would think Monster Jam would be learning their lesson from years past with the shows they put on there, that does not need to be a 2-day stadium event. You are barely having enough people. If you took both crowds, crammed them into one night, you may have a fuller looking crowd. Not a lot of people there, though, Coop. I mean, do you think that they got some type of contractual obligation that they have to put on 2 shows there?
Yeah, maybe they're just trying to, finish out a contract is what I'm thinking.
Is that what you meant by contractual?
Yeah.
Or
Contractual?
I don't know what he's saying.
words. I don't know, man. A lot has changed, to be honest. I don't know. I feel like they haven't been pushing it too much, but also I feel like they do. Because it's also like they're only going to push, obviously, if we're in Miami. Because it's never likely you're going to see somebody fly from, say, Chicago and go all the way to Miami just for Monster. What are you here for? Oh, Monster Jam. Not spring break. That's happening right now. but Monster Jam. I don't know. Their process of selling, which I haven't seen nothing because it only happens on the radio or TV stations there. I feel like they're just lacking a little bit, if anything, or it's just they're starting to fall off. Who knows? They need something to kick them back off,
No, I do know. I don't know what they're going to have. Maybe they should just bury it. Maybe they should just
Bury it.
let
Stop going.
let Monster Jam go. Let somebody else step up. There's no point in even selling it.
It was
at this
a good
point.
run.
It was a good run. Rest in peace,
We're
Monster
done.
Jam. This is the final year for
R.I.P.
Monster Jam. They're going bankrupt at the end of this year. No,
Oh,
that's not
just
actually
just be like Errett or Evera.
Who?
Whoever that one guy was that I
Everett?
talked to with the cowboy hat.
That's what he said
Yeah.
earlier. Everett?
Everett. Yo, what's funny is that someone said I need to take a history monster. Was it just monster truck? History. God, what? Coop needs to take a written monster truck history exam. To be honest, if it's not anything about Monster Jam, I won't know it. Just because I grew up with
But
Monster Jam.
didn't he do a
'cause
couple things for Monster Jam, like not too long
Probably
ago?
when I was still
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
twinkle in my father's eye.
Twinkle.
I don't know. I met him once. Had a Pepsi with him. He was cool, I guess. It's crazy. He's
I
a
don't
short
know.
dude.
I don't
He's
know. but-
short.
Yes, he is short, and it throws you off
Like-
because you look at him, and as the parents, he comes walking up to you, all cowboyish, kind of like how Batman was walking out of the dark, in the new
Yes.
Batman movie,
No spoilers.
just
Yes.
walking out. And
No, it's in the trailer.
yeah, it was like watching Clint
And
Eastwood
then I'm-
walk onto the scene. you know, like the Western music would be playing. It was,
And I'm the dude who goes, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
but my point is, it's like you see you walking up, you know, real cowboy, right? And he starts talking like, "Oh yeah, you betcha," you know, because he's got that real thick Minnesota accent. I love me some Everett Jasper, man. Now, before I forget this, y'all, we need some help over here. Y'all go to our merch store, buy our merch. We're gonna go bankrupt if you don't buy our merch.
Are we? What?
Yeah, we're going under. We need people to buy some merch, and we need some people to sponsor the show. Get your name on this show. Make it happen.
Yo,
Be
I'll
the next high octane coffee for the show. Be the next Outlaw Drags Monster Truck Series. Yeah, we need some sponsorship around here. Send us what am I thinking?
How
of here?
old is Coop? Guess how old I am. There, that's how old I am. What year?
What year Tom
driving,
start
Coop?
driving?
Well,
I guess the exam's already started.
Oh.
What year did Tom start driving? It wasn't that like. Okay, in what truck? 'Cause we're going mud. I don't know. It was before 2000. I know that. I know he won
Look, y'all.
basically.
If
I
you
don't think he
want to
knows the
quiz
answer.
Coop, listen to this, y'all. I got a good one. If you really want to quiz Coop, you want to know his knowledge, send us the questions to the Throttle Out Instagram because Coop does not have access to that yet. So we will make the quiz,
You don't
and then
wanna give
on
me
Thursday show, on Thursday show, we can quiz him. We can do that live. But you got to send in a good.
Yo, that'd
we need
be
at
cool.
least 10 questions for Coop.
Let's do it. Send them in.
10 questions for Coop. We'll answer them on Thursday. While you're at it, buy some merch from the Throttle Out Show. The beanies are being sent to Team Throttle Monster within the next couple of days. They are done, which means the beanies are going to be hitting the website within the next couple of days as well. Y'all remember, when in doubt, put it to the floor and throttle out Spence. We'll see you in the next one. Hopefully we'll have shows with Spence ready. Coop, thanks for joining us. Shout out James Trentina, High Octane Coffee. Brandon over my American Outlaw, Diesel Monster Truck, Frosty Boys.
Yeah.
See ya.
Shout out to that small cowboy.
Shout out to Small Cowboy. Everett.